So, we're going to look at Jung Santarelli. This bout was, I've watched this bout several times and I learned a lot, but my Discord brought it back to my attention and I thought it'd be good for you guys because I learned a lot from how to toe hit off this bout. And specifically it's how Jung really would set the attention to the hand and then go for the foot. And then he adds these little things sometimes where he can really he'll go for the foot and because the distance management is so well controlled, he's not really worried. So just have a look. All right, so attention hand, boom, and he goes right for the foot. So check that out. In other news, I found a sponsor for equipment. I'll let you guess in the comments. I did tell it to the Discord. So let me know in the comments what you think it might be. It is a brand that I like a lot. And yeah, let's go on with that. Other than that, the Discord night is on September 10th. That's on Saturday. It's at 11 Pacific Standard Time, Eastern Time. That would make it 2 o'clock. It's to accommodate the Europeans that wanted to watch but had to get up like 3 morning last time. So let's see how that goes. And other than that, just thank you. I think the channel's come a long way. We're 1,500. So let's see what we can do here, and let's go learn some fencing. Alright, so let's have a look at this bout here. Jung versus Santarelli. In typical FI fashion, we get a solid, we get a really awkward angle for the first few minutes. So let's watch. Jung is just really powerful on the hand and foot hits. And he's got, honestly, probably some of the best footwork in the business. Well, this is cool. Like, it just his hand game was so good, and a lot of times, right, he'll go low, back to high. So every time his blade comes back up, there's that threat of what might happen. But he rarely goes closer than he needs to be. It's very hard to get an overcommitment from this guy. See, look at it. This is so cool. Right, so he's low, sudden change direction, back to the hand. Let's go in, boom. And look how it all starts at the hand. So he was a little too close, but he still manages to draw off elbow, maybe shoulder-ish area. A lot of what he does, he really rarely gets closer than he needs to be, which is why he's so hard to fence. So watch how he's got a pattern that's super hard to read, but a lot of times it's pretty classical, and look how it's slow, right? So there's kind of a vision cone, right? So with Santarelli right now, his vision cone would probably be around here, and all of a sudden we've got this high, he's forced to react. Since Jung is still unbalanced, he gets to remise on the leg. It's also partially Santarelli kind of awkwardly parrying himself, or parrying the blade onto himself, I should say. This is good. I love this. All right, so we start off with, let's look, right? So we got ourselves hand hit, right? See, he's right there on the hand. It's nothing too threatening, but it's there. And then he's still being threatening. Hand goes back and back in. So look at this balance control. Hand push just enough. So once people do that tiny bit amount of overcommitment, boom, Santarelli steps in a little too much. This is all footwork. It's all footwork.
believe around here we get a better camera angle coming up. And look at, like, just a little thing, so hard to punish. Alright, goes in, kind of misses. Santarelli, big reaction, and he's like, you know what, I'm not quite comfortable, they both reset. Oh, this camera angle really undersells this hit. So he backs up, plants his feet. As soon as Santarelli's too close, he gets a little. It looks like it starts off under, but it looks like it's more like the armpit, right? But it's just because he knows that Santarelli's gonna have that high hand, because he's setting himself up for it. Let's go with the slow-mo. Normal step. Barely moves. Sets up his approach. Dynamic. Just perfect timing. There's some French grip stuff, right? Whereas the, pistol on pistol might be a double, but since he's got the timing, he's got the balance, he sneaks out a single. So this is where also, and this is, he's got a lead, so he's gonna hand. He doesn't actually move, right? So he goes hand, foot, barely moves forward, stays there. Hand, like it's a lot of hand. Finally, oh, I just love this. Just look at how clean the footwork here. Boom, like always sharp. Boom. So it's a relatively simple double, but it's allowed to happen because Jung has such good footwork. So this time he kind of tried the same hit, like with that weird under angle, but Santarelli, instead of kind of looking for it, he really focused on his tip going forward. Right, so there was like no real waving. Jung is always like just such an expressive fencer, just so fun to watch. Look at this is cool. Look at this kind of dynamic setup, but like it's more of a just like, hey, look here. He just gets his attention. A lot of attention drawn to the hand. Look how many times. Even on the way back, see, it's just a lot of attention given. See, when he doesn't feel safe, just look for the hand, back up. Tries a bit on the way in. It's nothing too risky. See again, right? Boom. But the thing is, like, when you do feints like this, they need to be pretty real. Like, there needs to be an actual threat of you hitting. Like that. Boom. And he kind of flicks it in. And then Santarelli's arm is just a little further back. So this is like just textbook French grip distance management. Really, really good. That's why he starts at the hand. Worst case, he slips off here and then he leaves. Start at the hand. Worst case, you slip off to the arm, leave. I wonder if too much commentary. That is this cool. So this is scary the most. Like, only Jung just got caught off guard. Is this something we were talking about in the Discord? Is right. So for a French grip, you show low, your opponent will take 8, then you can go high and force a 6. But here, this is kind of the take blade variant, where Santarelli shows 8, which forces or a reaction to go up, and then he takes 6 to go in. Alright, so let's watch again. Right, he shows the 8. Jung, and there's a big change of rhythm there too. Jung gets an extension. And Santarelli finishes in 6. But since Jung was at least like... Granted, he got caught a little off guard. He was at least just retreating and trying to hit. I do believe they just go to... So that's a late halt, but it is what it is. It was funny. Timing is really good too, is like just at the end, so Santarelli kind of comes in. As soon as the arm starts to go back, he gets him, but nothing. So now they're taking their 1 minute break. This one was really good, and right, the parry itself is really big, but look at the tip sharpness. It's very Italian. So he goes for the 8. He's already so close, so he was probably expecting Jung to kind of go up top, but since the trajectory is very similar, he just kind of keeps his tip sharp and whips it back up top. It's very hard to deal with. Let's look at how he set that up, right? Because it's really hard to get into that distance. Okay, so it was just like straight off. He called out Jung like on the ready go, right? He just in. All right, let me just instantly close that distance and get it. And if you're having trouble, right, keeping that same rhythm, very rarely the answer. You can always try something. I love these habits, right? So it's, oh man, I'm in trouble, leave. No, nothing much to read there, just both direct for French grip. You're happy to get a double. So here's something to learn, right? So, right, backs out. So he goes for the hand. Santarelli backs up. And now, so basically, if you're trying to hit the foot, if you can hit the hand, you're basically a tiny squat away from the foot. And Jung is insanely good at that. So he looks relaxed. And then Santarelli comes back in, and he tries again with the hand. Kind of fakes it, and look at here, right? So hand, get the attention. Hand on the step forward. It's not when they're standing still here. It's on the step forward. Really gets their attention. Pay attention to the back leg. He doesn't actually move his front foot, and he comes back on guard. And then when Santarelli comes back in, barely misses the foot. And then, I believe he tries it. Yeah. So Santarelli is feeling pressured, even though he's the one trying to punish on the way forward. So instead of being feinted again, Santarelli kind of attacks a little too far and gets stop hit. So just that whole sequence of events is, number one, really good fencing, but two is just like just such a sharp tip. I like still bent, granted lost a little balance. He got the hit. Nothing wrong with that. Look at this. This is awesome. This is why he's so scary, right? So right now, extension hits the hand. A tiny acceleration with the extension goes for the foot. But he's always safe. Jung is a master at this. Boom. And then see, just hand. Honestly, like, right, see, we can draw a line here. He could go for the foot if he wanted to. Santarelli closes, he decides not to do anything. Right, see, it's just absolutely masterful. See, he's not in any danger. Worst case, someone fleshes. He's comfortable enough with this. He just tries on, and it's so close. Look at this. Ooh. Commits. Oh, so this is one of the hits that really helped me up my toe hit game. I looked at this hit so many times, and just this bout in general, but this hit specifically. Attention here, right? An extension away roughly from getting the hand. Boom, hit. And it's something that's pretty replicable. And coach just like having a field day on that one. Right? Hand check. Santarelli's attention's up here. Look how he just kind of backs up. This is how he sets himself up, right? He gets the attention. Santarelli's like, I'm going to back up a bit, make sure I'm safe. As soon as he closes back in, foot. Now, one thing you can do, right, and it's relatively safe, right? So Jung just kind of does a little cut over. Some people would say coupe, but it's not really a flick. It's just a cut over where he lifts his blade up a bit. That way, any kind of attempt to take his blade on a low parry, he'll just go over it and hit. I believe, do we get to see it again? Right, so boom. All right, look at, right, see, like, you can see the frame. He's not going up here, just up here. Boom. So it's a very safe way to just attempt a toe hit. And obviously he gets it just because, there it is. Let's watch it again. Hand. Steps back into the distance and gets it. Just amazing hit. Just keep watching it. And went, And it's not a, like, he didn't have to lunge super hard, right? He's just flexing his, like, flexing his legs a bit and kind of getting his core engaged. Right, and then because of things like this, right, every time like Jung even moves his body, it has to be respected. Right, see here, you could basically draw a line. If Santarelli comes past this line when they're both at a decent on guard, Jung gets to try, and it has to be respected so hard. See, as soon as they pass that line, Santarelli feels obligated to do something, because he might get hit. Let's see here. Just direct both sides. So for French grip, this is just bout management. You're not necessarily looking for a double, you're trying to get a single, but you're not being passive, right? You're just going for that hit. Like, look how respected this needs to be. Oh, That was like, by Jung standards, there's one time where he got slightly lazy on the legs and he gets hit. Oh man. French grip power. Backs up. So okay, that was his go moment. So Santarelli looks, backs up, and as soon as he steps back in, Jung tries to go for it. And based on what he just saw, it was a bunch of 6, so it's a pretty good high percentage action. Jung, Park San-young. Oh, 2018. No, he wasn't that young. 2018. He won 2016. He was already Olympic champion. Never mind. My facts are off. Here, yeah, they go to not overtime. Let's see if we can get some more slow ones. So it's in the first period. Oh, the other angle. Up. Just a clean disengage. Or cut over, we could say. Let's go to the next period. And he's going aggressive. I think here he's just tired of backing up. And this could be like, right, he's been backing up a lot this bout. So I think now he's just trying to put on the heat just to make sure Santarelli stays uncomfortable. See, and so he can stay here because if Santarelli decides to keep walking, he's still there, right? He's in a safe distance. He trusts himself to be able to, his back leg progressively gets more balanced. 1, 2, 3. He's progressively getting more balanced. What a showman. Right, so like, this is a very well thought out double, right? He's like foot. And then Santarelli, right? How does one punish a foot hit? You go straight and he gets that double. A bit of swag just to throw it out. Alright, look at this pattern. Hand, foot. Hand, foot, hand. Ooh. So uncharacteristically undisciplined. But basically, if Santarelli had historically this bout so far been parrying, so I could see why we would try a huge cut over like that. So well played. I'd be wondering if, like, did Santarelli show a parry because he wanted to show the counterattack, right? Is it the opposite game or is it just what it is? Oh. So here, like, granted, it's not the cleanest hit. Just draw your attention to when he pauses. Here, he locks his legs. He's like, whoa, I just went way past the distance. And Santarelli couldn't quite get the riposte. Santarelli obviously very happy. Just watch this again. Alright, so legs locked. I am still balanced, so at least I can sneak something out. Alright, so I hope you learned something. Stay tuned. We're going to watch 2 more extracts coming up. 1, 2, 3, go. Alright, so let's just watch how Jung would have done someone like Borel, who is constantly just putting pressure on you and very big on the flesh, right? So he starts the pressure. So this is just crazy, crazy good distance management. Let's go look at it slowly. Hand, hand, foot. And he's comfortable enough to get the little hand flick on the way back. It's just super well done. And then just look at one more, who's also quite feisty. But just look at how he does a hand check and instantly goes for the foot. Alright, so let's hit it up with a slow-mo. He just really knows himself. Boom. And look, we looked at this earlier. 1, 2 for the 8. Boom. So YouTube lags. So let's just boom, boom. Right, so hope y'all learned something. Check out this Discord, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you for watching as always.